Good evening. My name is Julie Garcia, and I am your district attorney. 4 years ago, you put your trust in me, and tonight I'd like to tell you about just a few of our accomplishments. I am proud to be the co-founder of the BEST Task Force. That's not a good start. I am proud to be co-founder of the BEST Task Force, bringing Essex strengths together to protect our county. This task force was created to prevent people in our county from dying in alcohol-related crashes. We have provided server training to our area businesses. We have worked with our schools and our police agencies. We have organized alcohol stings, we have busted underage drinking parties, and we have pushed hard for tougher sentences for adults who provide alcohol to kids. We are saving lives, and nothing is more important than saving lives in Essex County. In the District Attorney's Office, we believe in prevention, prosecution, and punishment. One without the other is a Ponzi scheme. If you don't think the DA's office should be doing prevention work, then perhaps you should talk to our friend. His daughter, Shannon, was killed recently in an alcohol-related crash. Or perhaps you could speak to Albert and Nora Montanaro, whose son was run down by a drunk driver up in Port Kent. This is why prevention is important in Essex County. You could also speak to the superintendent of schools in Ticonderoga, and he will tell you, John McDonald will tell you, how hard it's been for the kids in his community when one of their fellow students has been killed. That is why we have one of the toughest DWI policies in New York State. And that is why I've tried to revamp the Stop DWI program in Essex County. We are one of the only counties in New York State that does not have a victim impact panel. And we've never done a cost-benefit analysis to see if the money that we've been spending is actually addressing the problems that we have. DWI kills more people in Essex County than any other crime. We're not trying double homicides in Essex County. Our problems are directly related to alcohol and drugs. 50% of all the cases opened in 2006 were alcohol or drug related. Under my administration, I have taken career criminals off our streets. The man who robbed the hometown pharmacy and the pharmacy in Willsboro is now going to be behind bars for 20 years in state prison. Another man who beat a young victim with a baseball bat is going to be in prison for 15 years. We have prosecuted pedophiles. One is doing 25 years in state prison and 2 others got 10-year sentences. We've prosecuted many sexual assault trials or sexual assault offenses in Essex County, but my opponent failed to tell you about all the victories we've had. Instead, they're going to hammer on 2 different cases that they're saying weren't handled appropriately. That is called pessimism and not optimism. Even though you received a letter stating that we have failed the people of this county with regard to sexual assault cases, we have not. And in the coming months, my record will be out for the whole public to see. Over the last 3 years, we have prosecuted more drug dealers and put more drug dealers in state prison than any district attorney in Essex County history. And that, too, folks, will be a record that you'll be able to see. A Port Henry man who was poisoning the community by selling large quantities of cocaine. A man in Crown Point who was convicted of the same thing. The guy from Port Henry, a 12-year state prison sentence. The guy from Crown Point, a 7-year state prison sentence. The Ticonderoga janitor who was on his way to work when we pulled him over with ounces of cocaine in his truck. He's in state prison for 7 years, and he's a second felony offender, and he was convicted of doing the same thing years ago. Those are the people I promised you in 2004 that I would get off our streets, and I came through with my promise. We've been praised by the Drug Task Force for being one of 2 counties that's taken a tough stance on drug dealers. I've worked hard in the DA's office to reduce our budget. Notwithstanding the letter that was sent to you by the former district attorney saying that our budget has increased by 16%, he forgot to circle the bottom line. Our budget has not increased by 16%. The bottom line to the taxpayers has absolutely decreased, and there's no disputing that. But that was in his letter, and I'm not sure why he wants you to believe these lies. The county treasurer, the chairman of the board of supervisors, the budget manager are all here tonight, and each and every one of them know and are confused too on why Mr. Briggs would put that in his letter. 4 years ago, I appeared before this committee to ask you to support my candidacy for Essex County District Attorney. You answered my call, and you became the first political party in Essex County history to endorse a female candidate for this position. I made a commitment to this county long before I asked you to commit to me, because I feel that you need to commit to a place before you ask a place to commit to you. I've spent close to 20 years living in Essex County and close to 20 years living elsewhere. No matter where my travels have taken me, I have always had a strong desire to serve others in a deep-seated faith in all that is good. My time at St. Michael's College and Siena College put me on the path that I'm on today. Principles are more important to me than politics. I would rather fight for what is right and lose than fight for what is wrong and win. Adversity is another way to weigh the individual strength of characters. When I campaigned in 2005, we maintained the high road at all times. Even when the going got tough, I never departed from my ethics or from what is good in this county, because you do not deserve that from anyone, from a candidate, a supporter, or anyone. You deserve better. In 2004, the voters chose our team because we won their trust. The over 7,000 people that voted for me then will vote for me again because they want me here for the right reasons. My advantages in this race are clear. I am your district attorney. I grew up in this county. I've lived in this county. I'm raising my children in this county. I've forged strong relationships with probation, mental health, the task force, the schools, and students too numerous to list. I have worked closely with all of our local law enforcement agencies, and we've worked hard with our local justice courts to clear up the backlog that was left to us by the prior administration. We've worked hard to inventory our evidence room, where we found piles of money that we're trying to disperse of the appropriate way. Yes, this has been long and drawn out, and it's taken us 3 years to accomplish this task, but we are getting there. These are examples, ladies and gentlemen, examples of hardworking, hands-on, dedicated public servants, not just myself, but the outstanding staff that represents you each and every day in the courtrooms of this county as your assistant district attorneys and as your district attorney. And I am proud of each and every one of them in the job that we are doing. I ask you tonight for your support once again, and I promise you that I'm in this race for the long haul. We've worked way too hard to stop now. I'll take questions.